Gemara. So I used to have my own simanim and he liked it a lot. There's some very cute simanim. One of my cutest simanim for Americans, the Gemara about Ben Hashmashot. It's page Lamed Aleph in Masechet Shabbat. What's the siman? What is Ben Hashmashot? Either Laila or day. The Lamed Aleph, Laila or day. I have some cute ones. So I told my father, Baba, I have a good siman for Aish Mekadesh. Mem Aleph, the Ish Mekadesh. He told me, Mama, straight serious. Ariel, תחילת הפרק לא צריך סימן. סימן כאילו, what are you talking about? כאילו, זה לא, doesn't make sense. So that's it, the beauty of האיש מקדש. So האיש מקדש, בו ובשלוחו. איש מקדש בו, everybody has a question over here, I heard, מה זה בו? צריך לומר, הוא ובשלוחו. בו, you're making him as the third party person. האישה מתקדשת בה ובשלוחה, the one who מקדשת by her and by שליח. Again, need a lot of explanation. Who's who, who's by her, meaning he ושלוחה. האיש מקדשת ביתו כשהיא נערה, בו ובשלוחו. A man is מקדשת ביתו when she's a girl, בו ובשלוחו. By the way, when she's a girl it fits better, because he's מקדש her by him and by השליח שלו, which means that he's not the one who's doing it. He's acting on her behalf. That's why it's bo. He's not who, by na'ara. But when it comes to himself, it should have say who. I don't know if it's too early, but I want to share with you a quick, I think, principle on marriage based on that when you're getting married, you're not getting married. It's not you. Getting married, the Gemara says in Masechet Psachim, Daf Memtet, the siman is, if you read the simanim, the Gemara in Memtet Amudet is talking about Am Haaretz. הסימן של הדף זה מטומטם, זה ממתת, מטומטם, זה עם הארץ. אז the Gemara says, רבותיי, במתת עמוד א', the Gemara says במתת עמוד א', that marriage require a minion. שנאמר, ממקהלות ברכו את אדוני ממקור ישראל. מקור is the source of עם ישראל, getting married. So a marriage required to have 10 people. So the Rosh Hashiva explained the following. He said, getting married, you are joining the institution that's called Am Yisrael. It's not about you. You need permission from the members of the institution to join. So therefore you need a minyan. Brit, for example, you don't need any minyan, okay? But here you need permission from the institution of Am Yisrael to...
2 edim is enough, you have to have 10
edim,
people.
it's not enough, you need to have 10 people for the actual chuppah. Lama? Because to join Am Yisrael, Kiddushin can have 2 people. What's Kiddushin? She's locked. She's not married to you. But Nisuin themselves require minyan. Because you're joining Am Yisrael. So I was telling couples who said, Rabbi, I can't work on my marriage. It's so hard for me. It's not about you. When you're getting married, you take yourself out of the equation and you're incorporating a new institution that's called the Cohen family. And you're nobody over there. Meaning you have the only right you have is to make it work. You have no right to break it. That's why when we said Mizbeach Mazil Dmaot, because you're hurting somebody else, it's not about you, it's about the nation. This on a small concept. So that's what when Aish Mekadesh Bo Bishlucho means, when Ani Mitchaten, it's not me. I'm an outsider to me to put myself into the obligation to join Am Yisrael. So it's not Ani. I'm getting married. My child. It's not about you. Your children are not yours. It's a one-way obligation. They need to take care of them. Marriage is not yours. The way people perceive marriage, they want to make the show and kol balagan and kol planning. It's important to plan marriage because you need to understand that the world has been changed. You know, people after getting married have harder time to get divorced than before. Lama, no name, you know. My parents spent so much money, Mom, I'm going to now get divorced. Okay, so I'm going to make it happen. That's the beauty of getting married. However, the more people spend on marriage, on wedding, the more chances they have to get divorced. That's a study that I did. Because there is a balance between knowing the commitment they're converting it into yourself. It's a show about yourself. So when all of the wedding is about what the guest's going to see and what they're going to say, then you're missing the marriage. It's not about you anymore. You're disconnecting yourself. It's about the institution. So if anything doesn't work, it's about them. So that's why I think האיש מתקדש בו. בו means he's מקדש himself, but it's not him. זה לא הוא. אתה לא, you're nobody over here. You're becoming בו. You're becoming an entity. as a cycle. ואת עושה את זה גמור אשתה בשלוחו מקדש. בו מבאי, if he can be מקדש בשליח, he himself, obviously can be a שליח, can מקדש himself. אומר רבי יוסף מצווה בו יותר מבשלוחו. There is a higher level of mitzvah than by him than his שליח. כי העיקר ספרא, מאחרי was burning a head, רוב במהלך שליבותא used to salt a fish. So all this very difficult to understand. Number one, where do we see in the Gemara, we talk about mitzvah one more than, when you read the Mishnah, where do you see any indication there is a mitzvah in one more than the other? The only thing the Mishnah says, Mishnah says, bo v'shlucho, nachon? So you want to say he has a higher mitzvah. How do you know? Meaning, where do we see it from the words of the Mishnah that there is a higher mitzvah? The other question, the Tosfos was touching it, it's common for the Gemara to say, zu ve, lo zu av zuktani. Meaning, not only him, also shlucho. But for that we said on two bavi, on two different phrases, you can say lo zu av zu. Not even that, even the higher one. But in one phrase you don't say. But it seems to me, if you would read the Gemara, would you be the Mishnah? Certain question, you read the Mishnah, you bother by yourself. You read the bo b'shlucho, meaning bo b'shlucho, the simple pshat, you the main guy, and then you shaliach. So when the Gemara takes out of it that there is a mitzvah in him, you tell mishlucho, we don't see any special indication of a mitzvah in the content of the Mishnah to say it's about the mitzvah. Second problem is, what do you compare Bechlal? I think Rabbi Lev spoke about that. To, when you're getting married, you're not burning the head of your wife, hopefully, neither yourself. Nachon? So Rovev was burning the head when he gets married, so same thing you need to do, marry yourself. It's two different actions. Getting married, it's you. Preparing for Shabbos, it's now, okay, it's a preparation for something else. What are you learning from preparation for Shabbos to a wedding? Based on what we just said before, it's answering that as well. Because a wedding, it's not you. You're preparing an institution of Am Yisrael. It is equivalent to Rav, meaning you're preparing for Shabbos. So getting married, you're preparing her and yourself to be ready to join Am Yisrael. But be'emet, it's not you. And therefore, we're looking at him as an outsider. A person might think, since I'm an outsider, I don't need to do it myself. The only sort of marriage that you're an outsider, nachon? If you're an outsider, then why do I need to do it myself? I'm an outsider. The Chiddush is, just like Shabbos preparation, that you're an outsider, before Shabbat you're praying for something else, for a different day. As an outsider, there is a mitzvah to do the preparation. Also, marriage is the preparation from the institution. Therefore, mitzvah bo, you tell me bishlucho. This is just for the cute part of the Gemara. When we learn shlichus, we can define that maybe different. Ike de Amre Sam says, "Va'isur anam ike." There is also isur on it. Domar Ravido kedravido Omarav. Domar Ravido Omarav. Asur l'adam sheikadesh ita isha ad shirena. Not allowed to mekadesh a woman until you see her. Shema yireh b'davar megoneh. You might going to see on her something not that is not, it doesn't like. But titganeh alav, and she'll be uncomfortable with him. Rachmona Omar, the Eibishter says, "V'ato le'acho komoicho." You should have your friend like yourself. So everybody again bothered. First, how do you know I didn't see her? Basically, you're changing facts in the Mishnah. When the Mishnah says, "Aish mekadesh bo," bo means what? Himself. No, he needs to see her. So, if he needs to see her, I don't think it's reading in the Mishnah right. Aish mekadesh bo ubishlucho. So, if seeing her is the right thing and shaliach is not the right thing, then you're missing the content is missing from the Mishnah. Because when I read a Mishnah, it seems to me either you or you shaliach. Where do you see in the Mishnah that you're not allowed to be mekadesh a woman until you see her? that the fact that the Mishnah allowed a shaliach is the biggest proof that you don't need to see her.
You're saying Mishnah completely disagrees. You're saying that you don't...
Yeah. אסור לקדש עד שיראנה. So you're telling me the reason we said by him first, then...
But why can't they be talking about a woman that he saw previously and he's sending a
That's an excellent question also about me. Why we don't say, oh, who told you didn't see her? Usually, again, the guy saw a woman, he's like, he went back home, you know her, can you please mekadesh her for me? Mitzuyan. Who said he didn't see her? We're making up stuff that never exists. But so that's an excellent question. But I think the deeper question is, the Mishnah itself saying the opposite of this message. Im asur lekadesh adam isha ad sheirena, the Rambam said it's an aseh. It's a special mitzvah, not mekadesh isha until you see her. So, then how can the Mishnah say, bishlucho, you can do it? It doesn't flow b'chal in the Mishnah. You bring a raya from something that's the opposite of the Mishnah. Also, the other question...
Why can't you just ask the question on Rav and saying...
Mitzvah bo'etam b'shlucham, okay.
Why can't you just ask the question on Rav? Rav, why...
So the same thing, meaning, but I'm asking Matt, I think it's a higher level of kashi. You said that the Mishnah is because of Rav. No, Rav, you don't see it b'chal in the Mishnah. The Mishnah don't never say that. Now, the whole idea of Rachman Amar ve'avta l'ra'acha kamocha, it sounds ridiculous, meaning there is a machlokes when you do somebody chesed, you should do it for the mitzvah of chesed or because you want to help the guy. So why do you don't say shechiyanu when you give somebody tzedakah? Because first you don't know if it's real, especially those who collect around.
Right.
I was in the shul. The guy came over to me and he said, tzedakah, I don't know whatever mishpacha used, or it is. So I said, you have to do that? He's like, no. Okay, so gam b'shamayim, they're going to tell you to judge you like that. So I tell him, אתה חצוף, תתבייש לך. Why? He was in the rabbi's group. They sent this picture as a fake guy. And that's why he didn't get to that. So he tried to manipulate people. Okay, אתה גם בשמיים. Then he came to me after, I'm like, אני לא רוצה לדבר איתך, תתבייש לך. The guy's a crook, and he makes you feel that you לא בסדר. So I felt I had to give it to him all the way. על החוצפה הזו שלו. Basically, he makes all of the rabbis over here stupid, meaning, you're all wrong by not giving me תעודה, and you're going to be done in the שמיים. אמרתי לו, ידונו אותך בשמיים. זה גזל מה שאתה עושה. He said, he gave me some ברכות. Anyway, I moved on. But unfortunately, those who are coming here, to collect, you never know if you're doing mitzvah of tzedakah. So mitzvah of tzedakah, it's really, there is a mitzvah משנה הבריות, נכון? If you see a midget, what you have to do? משנה הבריות. So do you have mitzvah to pick it up? ברוך אתה משוקל ובעולם, משנה הבריות,
Black's also, no?
הבלק, בעיה זה נורמלי, כן? בארץ, פתאום רואים somebody, in general, when you don't see such a thing, it is really,
Is it gova?
For me, everybody midget. Yeah, משהו שנראה כאילו, out of proportion, משהו שלא נראה, כן, משהו חריג.
אומרים ממש בשם מלכות?
כן.
כן.
מרן מפורש.
אוקיי, בסדר.
כן, וכן, לא בקול רם ולא ברמקול. So here, can you imagine you telling your wife, honey, you know why I'm talking to you now? Many times a wife wants to talk to her husband when she's upset about something. Now, as your wife is upset, she wants to talk to you, this is the last time you want to talk to her. When they are upset, it's the most annoying moment. Okay, now I'm complaining, okay. No? So, but if you didn't give her the message, okay, I'm saying to yourself, תשמע, ואהבת לרעך כמוך. I need to listen to my wife, okay? If this is how you live your life, you have wrong marriage. You have to be there for you because she's part of you. And look, as much as it's annoying to hear complaints, nobody wants to hear complaints. But that's the only reason we enjoy our wife when they don't complain. You have the up and downs, that's what you give you the excitement, Walk home, she's happy, Baruch Hashem. But you can treat your wife, I'm sorry to say, but I'm going to have to say it.
אתה אומר להם, you're right, they're like,
I know.
אבל הן ממשיכות.
Okay, because it's
Because
not about being
that's not
right.
that.
It's
Right,
not about
you're
being
right, you're right.
right. It's about
You
understanding.
have to continue.
Because you
זה
said
לא
it,
fair
you
שאמרתם
said
לי,
it too early. You
Right,
said it
exactly.
too early.
Said it too early.
You have to let go. הרב ארוש אומר, הרב ארוש on his ספר for שלום בית, he said, he's talking about like the מושגים, ואהבת לרעך כמוך, לשם שמיים, תקבל עליו. כל האיסורים שמגיע לך מאשתך זה משמיים. It's so wrong. Because she's suffering, מה משמיים? If your wife is suffering, take care, make sure she's not going to suffer. מה אני אומר, אני עכשיו צדיק משמיים, she's giving. If she's upset, something is wrong with you. זה לא משמיים, זה ממך, זה רשע. זה you at fault. מה זה כדאי כל משמיים מה שאשתך עושה לך? Maybe it works for certain people, but I think people who are, you know, grew up in Torah, זה לא עובד. If your wife is upset, it's on you, it's your responsibility as a husband, אבל לא מעמדים מאבטה, לא לקבל איסורים, don't think אתה קדוש מעונה, you know, holy man. No, if your wife is complaining, you are at fault, period. In any divorce, you are at fault. As you can hear all stories of divorce, he was, שטויות, אחי. You control the relationship, and it's your responsibility. So here we're saying, by the way, don't do it ואהבת לרעך כמוך. That's the opposite of the foundation of marriage. Marriage is not about ואהבת לרעך כמוך. Meaning, so I don't want to hate you because I don't want to see something wrong on you, and I need to love you like me, so I'm not going to do it. I saw some of Hashim ask, this is much more than ואהבת לרעך כמוך. We have פסוק לא תשנא את אחיך בלבביך. Meaning, לאהוב is the positive part. Hate is the negative. So if you are in the middle, are you okay? כן. You're not over עבירה, you don't hate. And you're not doing mitzvah, you don't love your friend. A man who's married a woman, he doesn't like things by her. Then what? Is going to hate her. So that's lo tisna. If he's going to hate her, why we use the pasuk of ואהבת לרעך כמוך? So better Hashem will deal with her later. I want to move into the Rambam. Can I have the Rambam? So the key opening over here, and that's our topic בעזר השם, האיש מתקדש בו בשלוחו. מקדש בו בשלוחו. So simple words of the Gemara, simple words of the Gemara, bo bishlucho means that you can appoint a shaliach. I'm using words, but don't help me on those words, to act on your behalf. So this concept of acting on your behalf needs to be explained. So I'm starting from the end and then we'll go to the beginning. What is the job of the shaliach? Is the shaliach acting on your behalf, or is the shaliach it's you?
It's you.
Huh?
It's you. שלחו של אדם כמותו.
כמותו, to what extent? So, shliach, we have a musag, לתיקון נשדרתיך ולא לעיוותי. If I sent a shaliach to buy for me a car, and he's coming back, הנה, he bought the car, one of the guys in Shorashim bought a car, he was so excited. I see the car, I'm like, I used to own dealerships, so I know cars. I see, אומרים, האף עקום, you know? Something there, I'm like, he looks so bad, Jason. And the red Infinity. So I see the car, I'm like, how much you paid? Like, came out, it was a rebuild title.
Yeah.
So that's what he looks like. But Hashem loved him always, and he sold it during COVID, and he made more money than what he paid.
No way.
The guy drove from Orlando, he saw it, he's like, okay, and he didn't want to lower the price because he didn't know the car was bad, Jason himself. So he said, no, it's a good car, so he got more money than what he spent. So if I send you to buy for me a car, Rabeli, and you give me a rebuild title, I give you the money, you're my shaliach, שלוחו של אדם כמותו, נכון? I can tell, Rabeli, לתיקון נשדרתיך, I sent you, לתקן לי משהו, to do good things for me, ולא לעיוות, not to mess me up. If you buy for me the wrong car, the rebuild title, that's not what I sent you for. You see that so then that means Rabeli, you're not me. If Rabeli would be me, whatever he does, it should be fine. If he does things that are not exactly what I want to do, then it's not me, then he's acting on my behalf, then he's limited to the way I think, in a normal way, meaning you're not supposed to know if I think different than normal people, but you're limited to what I sent you. לפי זה, then it's not you. But on the other end, we see the shlichut. What is shlichut? We have shlichut shel adam kmoto. So there is a fine line between what's the definition of the shaliach.
Why can't you say he only becomes mamash you when he listens to what you want?
Then it's not you anymore. If he's limited to what you want, then it's not fully you. Only to that extent. So if I send him to pick up a boat for me from somebody who owe me money, and he picked up a motorcycle,
So in that regard, he's meaning he only has shluchot shel adam kemoto. He's
Yeah.
considered gufo when he listens to what I want. If he's doing something that I didn't tell him to do, so he's not.
but
considered
look, at least he got me a motorcycle, ma. So again, so that's fine. We're going to spend Hashem swim. Yeah. I just opened up the topic, to the entrance. That will lead into the machloket we're going to enter to. We have the Rambam and then the Ravid arguing, and the Ramban has his own dialogue on it. So since we don't have enough time, I want to talk about it outside. I assume you didn't go through all of the Rosh, Ram, you did everything?
Rambam and Ravi.
And right, but that's okay. So the Rosh is way deeper and requires some Gemores to look at different scenarios. But the general concept over here, do I need Eidim to appoint a Shaliach? So step one is, first, do I need to appoint? Step two, do I need Eidim to appoint? We have a rule, the Gemara says in Bava Metzia, and it's what the Tosfos in the Mara Mekemes in Ktsuves Daf Pitalet. So Tosfos in Ktsuves in Dibur Matchil Ve'at is talking about Tafis leBaalcho v'makom shechav le'achrin. So if I send somebody to collect debt from me, from a person who just died, and somebody else, he owed somebody else money, can he collect it for me or not? So Tosfos learns in Ksubes that Tafis leBaalcho b'makom shechav le'achrin, if I appoint somebody shaliach for me to pick up stuff, and somebody else also owed money, I have no right to do so. So if I send you Rebelli as shaliach to take a boat for me, that's a more in Ksubes. To take a boat for me, the guy just died, he owes me money, I want a boat, I want this boat. So if this guy owes other people money, when you the shaliach acting on my behalf, you're hurting other people. Since you're hurting other people, you cannot act on my behalf. That's give all no understanding. Why not? If it's shluchot adam kmoto, why cannot act on my behalf? However, Rashi in Bava Metzia Daf, I think I printed out. I print both
He's
out.
hurting,
Don't worry, no,
he's
not for
hurting
now.
people, or he's hurting people on your behalf? Like you're
That-
causing
that-
it.
yeah, that's Shadi. Good. Who's hurting? Is he hurting on my behalf? Which might be okay because I can do it myself. Or you're hurting other people, then it's not. So if he's hurting other people, he cannot act on my behalf. What's going on? You can see the Gemara, the case of the Gemara and Tosfos. Now Tosfos brings the Gemara in Bava Metzia. Rashi in Bava Metzia said that the only din that you're not allowed to litfos b'makom shechav le'achrine, to take when he owes somebody else, that's prohibited only if you didn't make him a shaliach. But if I made you a shaliach, you can take even b'makom shechav le'achrine. You can take even a place that you owe somebody else. Comes out lefi zeh, that lefi Rashi, maybe you're going to read that he is acting is me. Lefi Tosfot, even if I appoint him to be shaliach, he cannot act on my behalf. So now that's lead into the machleket of the Rambam and the Ramban. Make sure to see right after the Rosh. I put in parentheses things mainly for Daniel, for you, but do the parentheses only after you focus on the first three. So the Rambam requires, we said at the beginning, that also needs a lot of explanation. This is the Ramban. I didn't put the Mara Mekemes, maybe it's great to see it inside the Ramban. Take a look on the Gemara, we should add it in Daf Memhei Amud Aleph. The Gemara over there bring the case that the Rosh is talking about. Memhei Amud Aleph. So see the Gemara over there. The Rambam seems to say that to receive Kiddushin, I need to appoint Shaliach, but to be Mekadesh somebody else, meaning, I need Eidim, I need witnesses to testify that I made a Kiddushin, but in order for me to Mekadesh somebody else, I don't need to have witnesses. Lama? Because it's between me and him. Comes the Ravid and he said, what's the Ravid over here? Yeah. Rambam compared it to the other cases of shlichut, and he said it's not comparable. According to the Ravid, we're going to need to have a din when I appoint somebody as shaliach to be mekadesh a woman. And now we have to understand, is that working because the shaliach is like me or is not like me? What's going on over here? So the Ramban, the Rosh, bring questions from the other Gemaras by the name of the Ramban. So tomorrow, the order, do Rambam, the Ravid you did today, do the Rosh. If you can, just do the Rambam on the Rosh, and hopefully the Seder will be ready to have the other sugyas that it's connected to. So see the sugyas that the Rambam brings, and we'll combine it together with Hashem.